going to find himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Mileham in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races. Only
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
But I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pite's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pite going to have a go. Werrell, don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah. And
It's all about the entertainment. So
I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Bottas is going to get it. Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening and welcome once more to the JPB GT4 Series Round 8 live from Silverstone GP circuit here as well. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by, I hope, one Mr. Dean Biggles here this evening, who's going to be coming along, and there has been a late change happening at the moment, so I'm hoping Mr. Biggles will be joining me very, very shortly. But let's bring you up the scores as they're on the doors at this moment in time here as well. In the pros, it is Mark Fletcher out in front. This is with the drop weeks, okay? So Mark Fletcher out in front on 4.38, Arthur Fertile on 3.91, Alan McCain on 3.15, then Adam Hedgecock behind that on 3.14, Ryan Burgess on 2.88, and then you've got Cavanader Launay on 2.82, Mirko Ficanto on 2.71, Torno Oromets on 2.67, Chris Needham 2.66, and Tom Weston on 2.46. Then you've got Dan Babbage on 2.33, Adam Watson on 2.06, Arnold Chagnonier on 1.88, Tim Perry on 170, Jordan Malcolm on 96, and then you've got Marnik Heister on 77 with Gavin Petty on 47. In the AM Championship, currently at the moment it is Jack Werrell out in front on 3.86, leading the way by 4 points over Derek Craver. Ryan Dudley on 3.48 with Chris Barnes on 3.09. Jason Haddington on 2.90, Stuart Rice on 2.78, Chris Evans on 2.77 with Rob Williams on 2.69. And you've got Stefan Mellis on 2.54 and Jamie Dengle on 2.38. Then after that you've got Kevin Randall, Stuart Gibbons, Mark Werrell, Roger Morton, Fausto Pinto, Danny Weston, Martin Sampson and Damien Hurst. And then bringing up the rear is Roy Rivake and Andy Littler. In the Pro Championship currently at the moment, we have got, when it wants to load, come on boys, Altitude Esports out in front on 7.26 with Team SRL on 6.88, Project 88 on 4.66 with Renegade Racing on 3.73, Air Smart Racing on 3.49, Sim Racing Community on 2.36, Mag Performance on 2.07 and Platinum Racing Team on 18. In the AMS, we have got Blade Designs on 4.112 with Squadron de Corse Veloce on 3.69 with Triple P Racing Porsche on 3.50, Triple P Racing Vantage on 3.25, No Pace Racing on 3.16, Air Smart Racing on 2.75, and then DSC on 1.10 with Optical on 98, and Team Zilla Racing here on 74. Thank you so much for joining me as well, and I believe we can bring in the Mr. Dean Biggles into the booth. Good evening, Mr. Biggles. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Yes, I'm good. Thank you very much, sir.
Good.
I have been here the whole time waiting for these drivers to get ready to go running around Silverstone, my friend, the birthplace of one of the first birthplace of motorsports, of course. Didn't that used to be called the old Mutton GP because somebody ran over a sheep?
Somebody ran over a sheep.
Yeah, it was privately. They used to privately drive some of the cars around. A couple of buddies got an idea. This is just after, of course, World War II. So it used to be the airfield. And a couple of guys got together and said, "Oh, let's just drive cars around as fast as we can." And there was a sheep on there, and they hit it, and they said, "Oh, it should be called the Mutton GP."
Oh, nice. And that brings out that terminology of mutton dressed up as lamb, then, I guess, in
yes,
as well. So,
well, that's just more about that's more of a term of a not so attractive lady trying to dress up to look like an attractive lady. I don't know. We won't get too far into that one then, James.
It should well be as well.
But it could be a guy as well, same thing.
This is also true. Good evening, Mr. BF John Brown. Good evening to you, DCS DK's 10 Sim community. Hi, JP. Shared the stream to pages, I know. Thank you so much. And Cavade Lorna there. I'm gutted I can't make it tonight. Never mind, dear sir. Never mind. Team SRL are looking good with Arthur Fletcher and Alan McCain and as well. So they're doing an absolutely stellar job. But we do have 2 races for you this evening as well. We've got the sprint race and then we have the 45-minute feature with a pit stop. So they will have to make a pit stop there to refuel because they will not have enough fuel. They are only on 50%. They will not make it. So pit stops round about between 20 and 15 minutes remaining here. So we'll have to see how this all works out as well. Don't forget last time out at Watkins Glen. In the pros, it was Watson, Fletcher and Perry in the sprint race with Werrell, Dudley and Haddington in the AMs. And then in the feature, it was Fletcher, Perry and Watson with Crowber, Gibbons and Haddington. So it's all getting very, very close here as well. Any chicanes named after me around here? No, not yet, John. That's Knock Hill, sir. We've accustomed the chicane at 4 and 5 at Knock Hill, giving it the John Brown moment after you did it the other day. Yes, dude. Do you know the sharp left-right at Knock Hill?
Not off my head, but
yeah, there's a very.
Do you know it now?
Yeah, there's a very blind left-right. Basically, it's a chicane. Now, normally they would go up over it. Well, the other day in the TCR race I was doing, they were going down it, so they were doing Knock Hill reverse, and John went over the top of the curb, and as he landed the other side, because literally it's 4 wheels off the ground, he hit the curb, hit the curb, and then the car shot off to the right hand side. And then about 4 or 5 people did it the same thing after, so we've called it doing a John Brown. So yeah, John Brown has got his own chicane in Knock Hill, bless him as well. But the championship is hotting up, guys, in the AMs and pros. 4 points between Jack Werrell and Derek Crowther. Jack on 386, Derek on 382, with Ryan Dudley on 348 there. In the pros, 438 for Mark Fletcher with Arthur Ferdal on 391 and Alan McCain and Adam Hedgecock. So it's an SRL Altitude Esports battle at the front of the pros, and the same with the teams at the moment. Altitude are out in front here as well on 726 with Team SRL on 688 in the pros, and in the AMs Blade Designs are out in front from Squadra de Corse de Veloce, which of course is Mark Werrell and Jack Werrell. Mark took his first podium the other week as well, so a stellar job from him. So amazing for Mark there as well, as the Werrell's got a 1-2 in the AMs. But we're here at Silverstone, Biggles, the mighty Silverstone race circuit, where I will be, just to let you know, up, and I'll be there on Friday. So if anybody is around on Friday and you fancy coming down to Silverstone, I am in Silverstone on Friday.
Oh, you are going. Are you driving?
No, well, yes, but no, kind of. It's
not on the track.
Yeah, it's for Radical Motorsports. So they're doing an open day and of their sim rigs in the Silverstone Museum. So I've been offered the chance to go up there and join in. So I'm going to take my boys up there and go up there for the day.
Oh, nice.
Mind you, I've got a 2.5 hour drive to get there.
Well, 2.5 hours at the regular speed limit.
Well,
Jump in one of these GT cars, my friend, and you'll be able to do it a little bit quicker.
Well, this is also true. He called you
Yes.
Arthur Fletcher a minute ago. Arthur and Callum in the same place. What the is? How's that possible? When did I call him Arthur Fletcher, John? You're gonna have to clip that and tell me, because I don't remember calling him Arthur Fletcher. Arthur Ferdal. It's always Arthur Ferdal. But we will be going into the qualifying session very shortly here, guys, before we go into the race, of course. And that 45-minute race is going to deliver some great racing. Pit stops as well for these guys, Biggles, at the Silverstone circuit. Got to try and get them right. We've seen Mark Fletcher do an absolutely stellar job with fuel saving and everything else, and he's normally pulling out after the pit stops, doing taking the lead and basically winning the race like he has done for a while. So they've got to be very, very... how can I put it? They've got to be on it with the pit stops this week.
They should be. Absolutely get it all right. It's going to be crucial. Find a gap out there. Get some banker laps in. They are, tell you what, right now, James, they're not beating around the bush. They're all jumping out like you only have a couple of minutes of qualifying. Look at that, almost everybody out on track. Only just about 4 or 5 cars at the moment still in the garage, and they're starting to come out now too. So, yeah, absolutely everybody's going to take full advantage of this 10 minutes of qualifying.
Yeah, they definitely are. And they want to get these over and done with, get some nice little laps in, clean laps if they can as well. We've just got Chris Evans, Callum Mileham and Toro Oromets, who is not out in Quali, but everybody else at the moment is out flying along. So let's see how these guys all get on here and see what qualifying times they're going to be doing. Welcome in, Jamie Dengle. Thank you so much for joining us. Phil, evening, James and Biggles. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you so much for coming along and joining us this evening. This should be an epic race at Silverstone, this amazing Grand Prix circuit, stoked in history, Biggles. I think that's one of the ways we can explain it.
Brands Hatch is better.
Sorry. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I like Silverstone. I mean, it's obviously a much more of a modern track than Brands Hatch, but I like Brands Hatch because of the elevation changes. Brands Hatch for these cars works quite well. But for open wheel cars, obviously, like, you know, your Formula 1, Formula 2, Formula 3 and stuff like that, then, yeah, Silverstone's much more kind of suited for it. But we are here in Silverstone, and obviously there are fantastic overtaking opportunities. And it's the track that I think the drivers, all the drivers should know it. They'll at least know all the corners and you know, when to turn. You can practically do that one blindfolded. It's, well, no, you know the corners themselves. You're able to draw it blindfolded. But obviously driving a car around is a little bit more trickier.
Yeah, it definitely is.
You know when to turn, put it that way. Like, I would know exactly where to turn just basically of seeing so many races there and actually used to drive this too. And in the Formula 1 game, yes, game, not simulator. Not different than these.
It is a game. You know, there is talks of, it depends on who you talk to, whether or not they call iRacing a game or a sim. It's a very difficult scenario.
It's a sim. It's a sim. Yeah.
Is it though? Is it?
Yeah, it's a simulator, my friend, because it's even been proven that so close to that drivers, can come straight out of the iRacing sim and into the real thing, and find that the simulators basically identified, copied everything, almost identical, just apart from your literally your G-forces and all that sort of stuff that you get in the real car. Anyway. Loving some of these liveries, loving to be here. Why aren't you driving, James?
Because I'm here in the booth. This is why.
Because it just sounds like an excuse to me.
No, I'm here in the booth, I can't just jump out on track, unfortunately. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't be anywhere near as quick as any of these individuals in these cars, to be honest, because I've only got the McLaren, and you know, the hands of the McLaren under Adam Hedgecock and Mark Fletcher, who is, mind you, on a 6.5 rating, is considerably better than me on a 1.3. And also, obviously, currently at the moment, my rig is off with it's up in my son's bedroom. So
I was about to say, what's your son race?
Because he's only 12. And he doesn't have iRacing. Well, he doesn't have iRacing.
You got to get it for him.
Well, yeah.
Only 12. Do you know how many legs we cast with 12-year-olds that are just annihilating the field?
I know, but you know, it's, I don't know. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I got to get him, haven't I? If I give him iRacing, I got to pay for his membership. I got to buy him all the content. You know, there's just a lot of things that that I've got to do. But Mark Fletcher puts it on pole on a 2:10.307 for the first time out. What's Arthur Ferdle going to do currently as well, as these guys are battling it out in the championship? No time for Ferdle at the moment, but that could possibly explain he might have got an off track there for Ferdle, and unfortunately didn't put a time on the board. He's going to have to go again to try and see if this man in that Aston Martin, of course with the Aston Martin, the McLarens, the Mercedes, the BMWs and the Porsches here tonight. So we've got a full race grid of all manufacturers here at Silverstone, and Ferdle needs to get a lap in here, Biggles, because they're 2 minutes and 10 laps, and he's only got 4.5 minutes remaining.
Loving some of these liveries, of course. Let's see if they're going to pan out. There's a 74 machine. That's right. It's not a... Yeah, that's the British logo. I always thought it was a casino chip. We've been through this one, Arthur, before.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a poker chip.
We
It's
spoke to him about that one. It looked like a casino chip the first time I saw that. Anyway, he's around the final then. I got to remember, with the start line finish with this one is different than the regular, or it is the regular Formula 1 start line finish?
No, this is Cops going through turns 10 and 11 and 12, which is the Maggots Beckett's complex. So the start-finish straight is on the bottom right-hand corner of the track map in the top right-hand corner.
They call it the F2 pit stops area, isn't it? Something like
that. John Brown says it's a game that simulates racing.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well... Yeah,
he's got a point, it is, really, isn't it?
Determines what you call a game as well. It's always an interesting one.
Again, I don't really know, to be honest, because technically the F1 2023 could be deemed a sim as well, because there's racing and it represents real life racing. So, you know.
Yeah, good luck. Get jumping into a Formula 1 car after that one.
Yeah,
after driving that.
But that's what I mean.
If it's a simulator.
It could be
look at the F1 esports guys. They don't even drive in cockpit view. They drive in T-cam.
Do they?
You can't do that in iRacing. Yeah, they drive
Birdle goes into pole, 210, 207. He's taken the lead here. That's a big old one for Arthur Birdle. Williams is coming over the line here as well. Don't forget we have got Pro and AMS. Pros are green, AMS are orange. And at the moment, Jason Haddington, Damien Hirst, Stuart Gibbons and Callum Mileham are all coming round to finish their laps there. Williams puts himself in 9th position, 3rd in the AMS at the moment. No times on the board here from Alan McCain. He needs to get a wriggle on as well for Alan to get a lap hit in here. So, yeah, we'll have to see on that one how these guys do. It's intended for fun rather than training, says John Brown.
Which is iRacing or the F1? Half a left to 7 to a 1/10 up at the moment. That's quite a big spread at the moment between P1 and P17. P18 now, as Mark's put his first time in there. Some of the people have had some moments. Or is that the kind of spread that you have? I think it's the pros and AMs, said James.
Yeah, well, it's pros and AMs. And normally, obviously from Callum, I'm expecting it because he hasn't done a lot of racing or practice here. So from Needham, Barnes, McCain, Evans and Mellis, I would have expected a time round about 2:11, 2:12s. The pros normally do the 2:10s. The AMs, Jack Werrell at the moment is on the 2:11. So between 11 and 12 there as well, I think is a good old time for the AMs. But they will come down, I'm sure, as qualifying gets more and more warmed up. Alan McCain has just literally messed up his quali, and he's not going to have time for another lap here. He's not going to get a lap on the board, is Alan McCain, and unfortunately for McCain, he's going to be sitting down at the back end of the field. So for Alan McCain, not a good start for the team SRL boy, and unfortunately for him, not an ideal scenario. What about Callum Mileham? What is he going to be able to do in that McLaren as well? He's currently sat in 18th. Needs to get a little bit of a wriggle on to be able to get some faster times on the board here, and hopefully he will be able to. But we've got the likes of Tim Perry sitting in 3rd place. This is just coming over the line as well. And Perry goes into 4th. Mark Fletcher jumps up front on a 2:10.048. Watson 2:10.065. 2:10.097 for Ferdle. And that was Alan McCain going off the side of the circuit again there. But Adam Watson, stellar job from him. 2nd place with Mark Fletcher on pole. This is going to be an exciting one between all of these guys here. I can see it now.
I was just wondering who that was that was going off into the background. And it looks like Beckett's, Maggots and Chapel is catching some of the drivers off. That's somebody just around the Wellington Straight, I think, at the moment. Is this the Wellington Straight? Is it coming down?
Yes.
Now, and this is Robert Williams for the Triple P Racing Porsche, but it's in a BMW.
Yeah, he changed cars.
Yep.
Changed cars for him, so unfortunately he's not in the BMW. So there we go. Right, we can bring you up the grid here. And and be able to show you the grid for race 1. Mark Fletcher is in front with Adam Watson, Arthur Ferdle, Tim Perry. Then you've got Ryan Dudley and Jack Werrell. Dudley come through, took the lead in the AMs right at the end with Derek Crowther and Adam Hedgecock. Chris Barnes in 9th, Toro Oromet's 10th, Rob Williams 11th, Stuart Rice is down in 12th. Then you've got Stuart Gibbons, Tom Weston, Jason Haddington, Damien Hurst, Mark Werrell, Kev Randall, Callum Mileham, Chris Needham, excuse me, Alan McCain, Stefan Mellis and Christopher Evans is your last one on track there as well. So it's going to be exciting. Let's see how it pans out here as well, as we've got this pace lap which will be starting out just before Stowe, and then we will be up and running our overall and getting going here for the first sprint race of 15 minutes at Silverstone. So let's see what happens as we wait for the guys to get onto the grid. There's Arthur Ferdle there as well. Going to be an exciting one, Biggles. 15-minute sprint.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to go full bore with it. They've got to get it sorted out because their places in the first race represent their places on the grid for race 2. So they're going to be wanting to try and get as high as possible.
What's a starting behind a pace car? Come on. I think the boys are good enough and strong enough to start from a standing still.
Have you tried getting this car as a standing still?
Yes.
No.
That's a part of the fun, isn't it? Because you got to make sure you get it up into gears there and don't lose the rear end, etc., etc. Anyway, it is what it is. There will be starting under the safety car. All right, Callum, you can't be down there in P19, my friend. You've got the day off to go racing. And of course, we have a few. By the way, where are the Australians too, James? All British dominated, essentially. You have a.
Oh, and we do have a Welshman driver and a Belgian driver, yeah.
Belgium, yeah, but no Aussies.
No. There was Jordan Malcolm in here, but unfortunately we seem to have lost him for a bit of the season. And haven't seen him since, unfortunately, for Jordan Malcolm. So, yeah, we did have Jordan Malcolm, but who's from Australia, but no more. So, there we go. Right.
I'll have to sort out, get some of my friends in here at the moment, James, with 8K I rating from Australia. But we'll find out if they're going to join the season halfway through. Well, we get ready to go green flag racing?
Yeah, we're on round 8, so they've only got 2 rounds. So the championship is already kind of near enough done. Yeah. And Dustin Fletcher's going to break away. He's gone early. He's gone coming out of club. And he is away. Here's Mark Fletcher with Adam Watson, Ferdle, Perry, Dudley and Werrell all behind him here. Can these guys all make it through turn 1 without any issues? You can see them all coming through in the background once more. And they all do make it through. Past this first time down into Village we go. Mark Fletcher's under pressure from Watson. Watson's got Ferdle tucked up right behind him as well. Watson's dived Fletcher's been dived by Watson going round the loop and onto the entry. Here we go now, and once more onto the Wellington Straight we go. We got Adam Watson, Mark Fletcher battling it out here. Adam Hedgecock trying to get past Jack Werrell as well in the hams. So Fletcher's going for it. Hedgecock's going for it. They've made contact again here. So Arthur Ferdle sitting there licking his lips at the moment as these guys are battling it out. Everybody got away cleanly there, Biggles, and a good start from all of them.
That's absolutely great start, wasn't it? It looked like they were pulling away, but now they've all bunched themselves up. Great overtaking opportunities. That's the thing I love about it. That's very close to the fence onto the exit. Look at that, putting the pressure on at the moment. Mark Fletcher really wants it. Adam Watson has to hold off at the moment. We don't want to see a Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen moment, but that's through cops. Not this turn. They're going to be ready to approach Beckett's, Mackets and Chapel. So that's a safe. Oh, don't go side by side through there, boys. And they will file in safely. Adam still leading from Mark Fletcher there and Arthur Turtle in P3.
Yeah, Ferdle sitting in third. Ferdle, yep. Sitting in third with Ryan Dudley leading the AMS, who's got Adam Hedgecock behind him. He's got a gap to Jack Werrell, but Jack's not got a gap, who's got Derek Crowther and Chris Barnes battling it out here once more. They're battling it out for currently 3rd and 4th in class as they go around Stowe now. And then on that run down through Vale and coming into the club chicane, turn 16 and 17 on this race track. They're going to go left now, hard on the brakes. Chris Barnes, they go left, then they go right, and then they go on that run out of club and down past the start-finish line here as well. So a stellar job from all of these guys at the moment. Everybody keeping it on track. Nobody's had any incidents, and the racing here is hotted up as we're in Silverstone for race 1. 12.5 minutes remaining. An absolutely stellar job from all of these drivers here, Biggles. What a classic racing we're going to see.
And not a lot of switcheroo of the positions. You do have down in piece 17, Alan McCain, that's gained 4 positions in this one. Otherwise, most of the people just gained 1 and dropped 1. We also have Tom Wetson in P12 that's gained a couple of positions. Look at this, on board from Mark Fletcher right now. Now he's going to have to send it here, at least to commit to it on the outside. And he'll have to do last of the late breakers, tuck in behind. There is a bit of bumping, so he's saying, come on, Mr. Adam Watson, get on with it, my friend. But he can't get around at the moment there, James. Still trying his best.
No, he's still trying his hardest. Here is Fletch, all the cars right the way down into 22nd, and that's Callum Mileham chasing down Stefan Mellis as these guys are going off now round Luffield, down through Woodcote, and on that long straight down into Copse, which is turn 9 before they go into the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Fletch here again, but still going at it. He's still going with Watson. He's got Fertile behind him as well. They're going to try and straight line Maggots and Beckett's as much as possible before they go round the left-hander and then around the right-hander and then on into Chapel and down the hanger straight, of course. Once more, these guys are battling it out here. Everybody is still going clean, which is great here this evening. 23 cars, all not having any issues, and it's Fertile and Fletch is the main battle at the moment for the championship as well. It's got to be Fertile's got to get past Fletch here, Biggles, to even remotely close that gap in the championship.
He's trying his absolute best. He's more applying the pressure now on Mark Fletcher than Mark's applying the pressure onto Adam Watson. There's almost all the 11s on the clock, but we have 10 minutes and 44 seconds to go. So you're going to get a handful of laps in because they're doing 2 11s just shy of 2:12. And welcome everybody in the chat joining this one. Of course, yes, Aussies are Brits, technically just the naughty ones. You're right. That's the good thing about heading to Australia at the moment. Well, in fact, it's required you have a criminal record in order to come to Australia. Let's go racing. I'm picking up my own country here.
Random.
But at least we have 2 people in Formula 1 course now, 2 Australians back on the grid. So I think just as many Australians as there are British drivers in Formula 1 calendar. Anyway.
Pretty much, to be honest.
Formula 1.
Yeah. What has Kevin Randall been up to here? He's coming out of club. He's going to go...
Something in the background too, I think. I see something just behind.
Oh, he spun up. Coming out of club, unfortunately. And off he went for him. So, yeah, great stellar battle up front. Alan McCain fighting it out for Team SRL. They're 3 wide with Jason Haddington and Mark Werrell as they're going around the left-hander of Brooklands, and then they're going to go around the right-hander of Luffield here, and through they go over Jason Haddington. And unfortunately for Haddington, he has dropped down the order a little bit and is down 2 places, which he's just lost to Mark Werrell and Alan McCain. So McCain trying to make his way back through. Watson here now with Fletcher still having to go Maggots and Beckett's. Fertile's trying to stick his nose in once more.
I do want to see side by side through there. Come on. I want to see if it's possible.
That's going to be very, very dangerous if they do that.
All right, now you exit out of here, crank the DRS, and you get a mighty, mighty toe down into the next turn. Of course, you won't get that because there is no DRS in these cars. Phil across the pond, we need to get Phil signed up for the next season. What do you reckon there, James?
I definitely agree on that one. See if we get Phil in the GT4s here as Fertile now going down through Vale down into club, left-hander. Round they go, over the curbs. Then the right-hander, of course, from Fertile, who is still chasing Fletch, still chasing Watson, and Tim Perry still chasing Fertile once more. Down the start-finish straight they go. Into Abbey, they're going to be coming along on the right-hander here as well. And through Abbey they go. And Tim Perry still settles in behind Fertile there as well as they're going into Village at the moment here, Biggles.
Tim is flying, of course, but the problem is he can't get around at the moment because his last lap was the fastest lap, and that's a 2:10.37 on the dial. You can see it. He's handling this car quite well. He's not fighting it. Look at riding on board. Look at that. It's just kind of like a nice Sunday drive here on it. He's not having to absolutely massively overcorrect it or anything like that. Sometimes some of those cars just look like they're absolute beasts to handle, but not the number 83 Mercedes, and that's the Scooby-Dooby-Doo mystery machine that Tim Perry is piloting.
Oh, I think there was contact between Fletch and Watson there. Watson nearly went round. Fletch did a stellar job not to hit him on that one. And there was near contact. I'm sure if there was not a little bit of contact here currently at the moment. So these guys are still doing an absolute incredible job fighting it out. The top 5, the only swap is Adam Watson and Mark Fletcher, with Ryan Dudley closing down on Tim Perry. This is going to do Dudley's chance of a world of good in that championship as he's fighting with Jack Werrell and Derek Crowther here. Further down the order, we got Chris Needham from Air Smart Racing. He's chasing down Jason Haddington from Air Smart Racing 2. So Needham and Haddington, teammates. Needham's going to slip up the inside in that Porsche in the first cup part here. Round turn 10 they go, off through Maggots, down, dropping down into the right-hander of Beckett's, and then they'll be on their way off through Chapel and down that hangar straight once more. But it is still Adam Watson out in front with Tim Perry trying to catch up in 4th place here. And it's delivered some great racing, I think. You know, these guys are able to race nose to tail, you know, bumper to bumper, putting it about and being able to overtake here. This is just the 15-minute sprint. They've got to do this for 45 minutes after this one. That's going to be tough in its own right.
Yeah, but this is essentially all these drivers would be using this almost as like a practice session, isn't it, for that main feature race, and then judging in your pit stop strategies. Your Porsche, of course, doing your Porsche things is Chris Barnes, is down in P9. He's the first of the Porsches. There's only 2 of them. There's also Chris Needham, but well, I'll tell you what, it's Arthur Thurtle that needs, as you said, to get past both Mark, I think, and Adam, isn't it, for his championship hopes. And at this point, they're starting to pull a little bit away, although now they're starting to catch up. Look at that. They must almost be identically very, very close there, James. So I'm not surprised if it is. There it is. So they're going to be side by side. It is Mark Fletcher going for it now, and Adam Watson. They're going to be side by side into the loop. And this is correct, isn't it? Oh, that's actually looking at 3 here too, mate.
We're around Luffield at the moment. Luffield with Woodcote. There as well. So we've got Luffield and Woodcote, and now we're down the straight here once more. So yeah, stellar job from all of this. Yeah, Fletcher's going to have a go. Is he going to go down into Copse and look at getting that run? Is we going to see no Hamilton and Verstappen here? It's Watson and Fletcher and Thurtle currently at the moment battling it out for the lead of this race before we end up 4.5 minutes remaining. A stellar job from all of these guys as well. So, yeah, great job from all of these. Adam Watson, Mark Fletcher, Arthur Thurtle, Tim Perry and Ryan Dudley chasing them down. Needham now is having a go at Mark Werrell. He's going to be looking up the inside of the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Needham's going to go into the Porsche with that Aston Martin. He gives him room. Needham's going to try and tighten up his exit. Takes in front of Mark Werrell. Werrell tries the undercut as well. Coming through Beckett's now. Down the left-hander of Chapel. And Chris Needham is gone into front of Mark Werrell. That is 16th and 17th battling out there as well. Further up front, we got Stuart Rice and Stuart Gibbons. The Stuarts here as well, and Rice has just cleared Gibbons with Tom Weston, of course, the owner and runner of simracingcommunity.com, our primary sponsor here this season as well. So please go and check them out at simracingcommunity.com for all your iRacing needs and all your views and liveries and forums. There's loads on there, so go and check it out. Thurtle now is trying to go around the outside of Fletcher. Biggles, he's trying to have a go.
He's giving it everything he can, actually. Would be surprised if Tim Perry's not into this, just lurking in the background. So 5 cars, anybody makes mistakes and goes around right now, then you possibly have yourself a race win for the first race here this evening. I don't know. You think Arthur's going to make some sort of late dive here? Maybe Mark Fletcher's going to think about that.
Yeah, they're going to help.
But where? Where would you try it there, James, if you're bold and brave, 3 minutes and change to go?
Well, honestly, there ain't many places. Down into Vale, into the club chicane if you've got an opportunity, and then down in through Abbey if you're right beside him, I suppose. But it's going to be tough because they got a short run after Abbey up into the village. So for these guys at the moment, it's going to be definitely difficult. You can get a run if you can out of Hanger straight down into Stowe. But again, you've got to get a nice, decent run out of Maggots and Beckett's, which is what they're just coming up to now. Turn 10 through 10 into Maggots, which is 11, and then they're going to come round the right-hander of Beckett's 13, and then off out into Chapel and down the Hanger straight once more here with Fletcher and Ferdle. Ferdle's got a bit of a better run than Fletch through Maggots and Beckett's. He's going to be looking at side by side, going down into Stowe. Is Fletch going to have the inside? Is Ferdle going to have the inside? Currently into Stowe at the moment. He's alongside here. Fletch has got to leave. Oh, there was a little bit of room. Ferdle's got to run down through Vale now. Coming down into the club chicane here. Ferdle on the left, Fletch on the right. Oh, he just couldn't quite get him that time, Biggles. And I think that's where he's looking, as we're going to be on the last lap.
So close. He's trying his absolute best, but also great defense there from Mark to try to hold him off. Denying him that little bit of straight line speed that I think Arthur just needs on the Aston Martin. It just can't quite do it. I mean, even though Adam is in the same vehicle, and of course that McLaren's just in the mix of it. It's just whatever it is. Even with those good exits, it just can't get enough power down.
Yeah, as Tom Weston is proving. Yeah, he's with Rob Williams. This is down in 11th and 12th. Williams and Weston and Oramet's in front of them. Williams, nearly. Weston's looking at trying to go up the inside.
That's risky. I was going to say, I'm not quite sure you should be doing it there, my friend.
No,
and you are, and you have to rely on that driver spotting you exactly coming up in the inside because that's right in your blind spot too.
Yeah, not an ideal solution for Weston there.
There's crazy off the track in the background there.
Yeah,
comes back, and that's dangerous coming back in. Oh, almost takes out. Was that
the free
Stewart?
Oh,
the other Stewart.
Stewart Rice, Needham there, McCain, Williams. Now Williams has just got to get his head down there. Now after that incident with Weston, but it is SRL Triple P, Stewart Rice with Needham battling it out. Williams in the front here. They're all going to be very, very close together as they come out from behind the grandstand. Williams, McCain, Needham, Rice, Werrell and Gibbo all in that little tidy pack there as well. Oh, no!
That was a huge break earlier into the corner, and there was I think that's caused that Constantina effect, hasn't it? I don't know. He lifted it a lot. Have a look at the red and white machine. You can see looking to try to bring it. Look at that. Look at the lift or the brake. And that Constantina effect has just rebounded back to everybody else, caught everybody off completely on that one. So that was a good little squabble that was heading into that. And we kind of saw that something was probably going to go a little pearl-shaped on that one. But nothing's going pearl-shaped for Mr. Adam Watson, my friend from the Renegade Racing team, because he looks to have this one done.
Yeah, take the victory is Watson. I believe he has finished there with Ferdle in second, Tim Perry, Ryan Dudley, Mark Fletcher. What happened to Mark Fletcher there? Because he was in second place and then he just got overtaken here by Arthur Ferdle. I'm wondering if he had a slow down there.
He's got a slow down for sure. Look how much he's had to just lift. I don't see any messages in here to say he'd gone off track or anything, James. So
no.
Definitely. Too many off-track excursions.
Or maybe he's just gone out of Maggots and Beckett's and then unfortunately might have picked up a slowdown there. Stefan Mellis with Damien Hirst as they come over the line. Alan McCain down in 17th at the moment after he had another little off-track excursion earlier on. And unfortunately, him and Chris Needham having a coming together there. Needham trying to go around the outside. This was before the Gibbo incident. So Needham got a run, just touched McCain, unfortunately, and around they both went. And unfortunately for them, they are now jeopardizing their grid for race 2. But let's bring you up the results for race 1. And it is Adam Watson out in front with Arthur Fertile, Tim Perry and Ryan Dudley, the winner of the AMS. Mark Fletcher, Adam Hedgecott, Jack Werrell, Derek Craver, Chris Barnes, Torno Oromets, Tom Weston, Rob Williams, Stuart Rice, Mark Werrell, Damien Hurst, Stefan Mellis, and then you've got Alan McCain. And then beyond that, you've got Stuart Gibbons, Chris Needham, Jason Haddington, Callum Mileham, and Kevin Randall. And as well, and that takes us down into 22nd place. So a stellar job from all of them guys there once more. 5-minute brief little warm-up now, and then we will be back and running. What happened to Fletch? Go on, Joey Essex. Well, Fletch unfortunately had an incident which put him down the order. So from Fletcher's point of view, not an ideal scenario. I think he must have had an off-track or a slowdown through Maggots and Beckett's there, because that's how he ended down in 5th place. So, yeah, tough for Fletch on this time around here, Biggles as well, but they've got to be careful of them slowdowns, otherwise that's what's going to happen.
The worst possible place too, isn't it, on the last lap? And then you get that slowdown, and it's going to be a little bit gutting. Had possibility, of course, for a, let's say P2 at that point. I'm not quite sure he just had anything to cover off Adam. But obviously a very good day there for Arthur Thurtle then, because he needed those points, as you said. So
yeah, he definitely did.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, definitely will be here once more. But yeah, tough for all of these guys as we go into this 5-minute warm-up here before we go into race 2. So yeah, I think from Fletcher's point of view, he did have a slowdown, and unfortunately that's why he ended up dropping down. So great job from everyone here. Callum Mileham is out on track at this moment in time, I believe, putting some laps in that he missed a little bit earlier on. But all in all, if that is the sprint race, what's the 45 minutes going to be like, Biggles? Absolutely stellar one for everyone.
I think so. Maybe you'll see a few more overtaking opportunities. I'd say a few more overtaking opportunities at the start of the race there, James, because once they file in, they're going to realize how difficult it is to be following the cars. And also crunching those pit stop strategies. You can see the wing design of the paddock that they redid this track. What about 10 years ago? Geez, must be getting old. I feel like I'm getting old. That's probably something out there that Phil would know. Talking about old. Sorry, Phil. Cut you on that one. Phil said he can't race, my friend, because he needs a couple of new knees or a knee replacement or something. We'll get you some. We'll sort out that one. We're going to GoFundMe campaign or something like that to get Phil some new knees, my friend, so he can get it back into it. He has a racing sim, so he says. Well, he has. And
I have all the kit, but not the knees.
Not the knees.
Yes, unfortunately.
You can do the. I had a steering wheel because my pedals broke one time ages ago, and I used to do the accelerator and the brake on the steering wheel. It's a possibility. You won't have the load cells properly, but you can still do your accelerator and brake off the wheel.
On the steering wheel?
On the steering wheel, yes. It was at the bottom. So I had the gears shifts up the top of where your fingers are, and then use the accelerator and brake on the bottom of the wheel. On the back of the wheel, just below them. Yeah, I mean, remember they have those things too, because people with disabilities and things like that too.
You might as well
race. Same with regular cars.
You might as well use a controller.
No, you still got the wheel. I would still kick your butt around any of the tracks with it, James. I guarantee you that.
No, you would not.
Not head back to Australia, my friend. I'm going to jump into my racing rig and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah, well.
All right.
We'll see.
Anyway, but yeah, it's something to look at, Phil.
Good evening, Mr. Jay Corley. Welcome in as well. Thank you so much for joining us. You have just joined in warm-up, so you've got 40 seconds before we can bring you up the grid for race 2. Of course, the 45-minute feature race with a pit stop for these guys once more, so they will have to do a pit stop and fuel up, because they will only have 50% fuel. So that is it here, as Callum Mileham has given the camera a good old flashing with his lights. Yeah. He knows he's probably the only one out on circuit at the moment.
Yeah, he's getting good exposure time at the moment there, Callum, so good on you. Yeah, mind you get a fine butt for flashing your lights too much. Is he aware of that one? That's a 2-point penalty in the championship. How is Callum going in the championship, by the way, too?
Well, this is his first race.
His first race, isn't it? Yes,
yeah,
that's
so
what I was going to say.
He's not going very well. However, he is the fastest man on track at the moment. So for his point of view, it's a bit of a bargain. Unfortunately for Callum, that's the end of warm-up. So let's bring you up the grid for race 2. And you have Adam Watson with Arthur Ferdle on the front row. Then on row 2, you're on Tim Perry and Ryan Dudley. Row 3, Mark Fletcher, Adam Hedgecock. And then row 4 is Jack Werrell and Derek Crowther. Row 5, Chris Barnes, Torno Oromets. Row 6, Tom Weston and Rob Williams. And then on from that, Stuart Rice and Mark Werrell, Damien Hirst and Stefan Mellis, Alan McCain and Stuart Gibbons, Chris Needham with Jason Haddington, Callum Mileham, Kev Randall and Chris Evans, who I don't believe is actually taken to the start. So no running for Christopher Evans here, but we have got 45 minutes to go now with this pit stop here as well. Points penalty for flashing. That's me losing a boatload of races. So says Jay. So clearly Jay's a bit of a flasher, Biggles.
Okay. That's that's flashing, of course, when it comes to motor racing with the lights of the car. Because let's get ready to go racing once again. They're going to do the baby driving approach and start behind the pace car.
You clearly haven't tried.
I'm going to get murdered by these drivers, aren't I?
You haven't ever tried to get a GT4 off a line. Never. If that's the thought process there.
Well, you kind of have. You know, I used to own a Nissan Skyline.
Yeah, but you can't get these...
R32, my friend, and I can get that baby off the line very quickly, the twin turbo.
Yeah, no, These guys trying to get this off the line is a bit of a nightmare. So, but here we go. Now, Watson is our lead car with Ferdle. Ferdle's going to try and go as much as he can here. He's got to go with Adam Watson. Watson's already gone there. And once again, we are going to be back up and way and racing. And we are at the moment. Fletch and Dudley are side by side further back. Fletch slots in front of Hedgecock, but Watson's out in front. Fletcher's sitting in 5th at the moment with Ryan Dudley in that Mercedes in front of him. We know Dudley's quick here. Let's see how long he can hold Fletch back for. And it's not very long as we're going through Village and through he goes. Contact there with Dudley over Fletch. Hedgecock's now coming alongside as well. He's going to try and run Dudley round the outside. Through Aintree they go. Dudley is losing positions now, but he's lost a position to Fletcher. Is he going to lose a position to Hedgecock? But with absolute stellar racing happening here as well, Biggles. A great job from everyone, especially Adam Watson. Hedgecock's trying to go on the inside, currently into Brooklands. Does make it through there. Stellar job from everybody.
Absolutely, and I thought there for a second that Ryan was going to try to sneak in the middle of them. I'm like, I'm not quite sure there's enough space there. Let's look at that, isn't it? They are leaving the door open between that. It's not over just yet, because the fight's still resuming. Adam Hedgecock has to do something here to hold it around. Yes, he is, and there we go. High speed to out of cops, sorry. Coming out right now. I tell you, I love that. There's one of the corners that you do love in any of the motor racing tracks, is that high speed, also good exits will give you the opportunity, because then you file in right now. Or they're going to go side by side. James, they're going to tempt it, maybe.
Well, Jack Werrell, man, that is just risking it for the biscuit there. I'm not going to lie. Here with Dudley is in the full bore battle at the moment with Werrell, Crowther, Barnes, Oromets and Weston behind him. So, unfortunately for Dudley, there's no rest for the wicked. Werrell's going to try and come up the inside of Stowe. He's got to be late on the brakes here as Werrell. Werrell is late on the brakes. He sends it up the inside of Dudley. Can he hold it? Dudley's going to try the undercut. Dudley comes back underneath him as well. Down through Vale they go. Crowther wants a piece of the action once more. 42 minutes in to go here. And Jack Werrell and Ryan Dudley still going at it here, Biggles.
That's exactly the reason why they put the what is it called? The inside, that red
sausage curb.
Speed hump. Sausage curb, exactly. So if you hit that, that car's going to go up on 2 wheels, and likely actually probably got a little bit of a tap there into the side. We can see currently at the moment there's Jack. That's a slowdown, isn't it? I think.
I don't know what's happened to Weston here, but whatever he's done.
Oh, he's
going to bin. Yeah, he's going to bin it on the. Is he going to bin it? He is.
Yeah.
Into the wall.
That's the second time we've seen that now, isn't it, James? Ooh.
And the second time with a Mercedes.
So you've got to be very careful on that loud pedal coming out of the exit out of the corner. Of course, he has to get his front bumper fixed for the pit stop. And look at this going on. That's going to be very late on the brakes, my friend, if you're going to see if they make that one stick. And he kind of is trying his absolute best. It's going to scrub a bit of speed off at the moment. That's Arthur and Tim.
Yeah, Tim Perry and Arthur Fertile battling it out here. This is for second place, of course. Arthur Fertile from Team SRL, Tim Perry from Renegade Racing, with Adam Watson, who is out in front. They need to get a move on to stop Mark doing what Mark does. They need to be able to drop Mark and stop him being able to fuel save as much as possible, because that's going to be where the problem lies. What's happening down here in the AMS? This is Stuart Rice and Williams, both of the same team, or the same make-up of the team, I should say. Triple P Racing Vantage and Triple P Racing Porsche, of course, as they're coming in through Maggots Beckett's now, and then down into be out, and then on their way through Chapel. They've got the right hander of Beckett's to go, and then through Chapel once more. But close little battles all the way through the field, and Dudley here is having another one with Jack Werrell. Werrell's going to try and go around the outside of Stowe this time, Biggles.
Yeah, we'll see if you can see if it's going to make it stick. Of course, trust in your brakes. Not too much. No, I had to lift off a little bit there. I elected not to do it just yet. 40 minutes to go, plenty of time. And I do love how James always says a Porsche, of course. Any bit of a trademark on that one now, James?
Well, you know, what can I say? I'm sure it's probably not the first thing I've said that people want to be trying to copy as well. Crofty.
I think Stefan's had a moment, my friend, at the Bonsai racing team. Maybe had a Bonsai moment.
Yeah, I think he did there for Stefan Millis. I don't think he's had a good time of it. That's Damien Hirst in front of him. He tries to go up the inside. Hirst squeezing him against the white line there. And, Mellis just went in too hot, unfortunately. Tapped up the back of Hirst, and there was just no way round for Mellis. McCain and Williams and Mark Werrell. Werrell's gone up the inside of Alan McCain. Williams trying to get hold of his teammate Rice, who is in the Aston Martin in front of him. There he is at the bottom of the screen. Nothing going on here apart from Alan McCain trying to have a go round the outside of Mark Werrell now as they're coming down into Brooklands. The left hand of Mark Werrell. Even my own timing software don't know where they are because they're side by side currently, and Alan McCain is going to sneak through. Werrell's going to try that cutback, I think, and try and slingshot himself around the start-finish line. Perry now with Fletcher behind him. They've dropped Arthur Fertile. Fertile's managed to drop these guys, and unfortunately for Tim Perry, he's got the championship leader behind him.
Arthur Watson. So Adam Watson's still on the lead of this race. We did see for a brief second, yes, it is correct. Your eyes are not deceiving you. There was sunshine in the track here in United Kingdom. For a second, it's gone cloudy again. So those temperatures might not be jumping up and down as much as you can. That's right. Yep.
Hold on a minute. It's 26 degrees.
I'm not lying. There was sunshine in the UK. It is possible. It does happen every once in a while. You are seeing a fantastic motor race between these two gladiators.
Fletcher's just cleared Tim Perry. So Perry has just lost that place to Fletcher, and Fletcher will set on his way after Arthur Fertile. Needham's now battling it out with Mark Werrell. Mark unfortunately dropped himself into the clutches of Chris Needham, has had Rob Williams and Alan McCain. You can see them further up. Williams goes on the defensive here. McCain's got nowhere to go bar around the outside if he's going to try it. Williams does not leave him any room. He chops his nose off now. McCain's going to try that cutback on the exit of Luffield down through Woodcote. Alan McCain does take it there as well. Mark Werrell's going to have a piece. Werrell's going to try and get the inside in for Cops here. Needham's trying to once again as well, almost 3 wide. Past Rob Williams, and he's lost a place to Mark Werrell. Is he going to lose another one to Jack Needham, Chris Needham, sorry, behind him? And he did lose that place to Mark Werrell here, and now Needham snuck up the inside as well. Unfortunately for Williams, down 3 places he goes in that BMW at the hands of Mark Werrell, Needham and McCain. So Williams has got to try and come back in that BMW once more. Crowther now holding off from Chris Barnes at the moment here as well. And this is for second and third in the AM Championship.
Chris Needham obviously was way out of his qualifying pace, isn't it? Because he's gained 5 position and probably has done, I'd say, the most amount of overtaking so far in race 1 and in our feature race now as well too. So definitely getting the job done on track. And obviously that goes to show you that a little bit of must have made a little bit of a couple of mistakes in qualifying. So he's down on the pace that he should be, but showing it in the race, that's where you get awarded the points, my friend. So it doesn't really matter too much about that qualifying. For sure, and there's still some fantastic motor racing. And just to let you know too, James, we're going to see some Formula 1 cars going down Bathurst later in the year, as well as Formula 2 and Formula 3 and some of the open wheels.
Nice.
It's not a proper race, but you'll actually see them there for a bit of a feature thing. It'd be fantastic to see.
If they can hold their front
cars
wing.
going around a proper racetrack. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, whatever. Proper race circuit, give over. Ryan Dudley, Jack Werrell battling out once more as they're going down through Stowe now. Jack on the right, Dudley on the inside. Jack in the Aston Martin, Dudley in the Merc. And unfortunately for Dudley, he's down 2 positions here. He's lost the positions at Hedgecock and Werrell. What about Hedgecock and Perry, sorry. Jack's now going to get the run out of this corner. He's going to get the run out of Luffield now. Can he make it? No, he's through Club, sorry. On his bike he goes. Oh, he hits the sausage curb, scrubs some speed off before they go down into Abbey. Unfortunately for Jack Werrell there. He had the opportunity there, Biggles, I think, to make a run on Dudley if he could. But he just hit that sausage curb and lost a little bit of speed.
Just wondering how much damage that ends up doing to your car too. So your back will be hurting a little bit, but yeah, it will definitely take the pace away. That's the purpose why they put him in there, so you can't cut that track limits too much. Oh, good exit. Yeah. Good exit there for Arthur Thurtle.
Yeah, he's going to have a go at Watson now. Down, here they come. Can they manage it? Can Thurtle get down on the inside of Brooklands? He is. Watson's going to tuck up there, I think. Oh, they nose to tail, but Thurtle takes the lead with 35 minutes remaining, 10 minutes in. Arthur Thurtle doing an absolute stellar job. Snatches the lead there, and Adam Watson gives him a flash of appreciation, I'm sure.
Did Adam make a mistake? I thought he had quite a bit of a gap up the road there earlier.
No, he only had a 6 or 7 tenths. So obviously,
okay.
From that point of view, Thurtle on a 1:10.06 and Watson on a 1:10.49. So Thurtle pulled out 4 tenths over Watson on that last lap. So a stellar job from Arthur Thurtle as he does make it past Adam Watson. And now all he's got to do is go all the way to the end in the next 34 minutes here, Biggles.
Oh, well, via the pit stop at one point.
Yes, which has been Arthur Thurtle's downfall.
Oh, well, you said he's keeping his championship hopes and dreams alive, and that's the best way to do it by putting the current P1 currently at the moment. But then again, he's going to have to do, hopefully, a bit of mirror driving. I always say as an engineer to drivers, I just say, rip the mirrors off. They don't exist. Don't even look behind. Focus forward only.
Well, I think that's what he's got to try and do here. He's going to go on a defensive down into the chicane. He knows Watson's not going to make that move there. He's got to just concentrate on getting his exit out. Onto the gas he goes, round through Club, over the line once more. Goes Arthur Thurtle. 34 minutes on the clock. He's got to do something here and try and open up that gap. What's happening with Mark Werrell, Rob Williams and Randall? Williams is trying to gain some places back. He's down 3 from where he started this race, of course. Positions were set by race 1, which was then set by qualifying. So qualifying did determine for the sprint, and then race 2 is determined by, obviously, the race 1 results. There's somebody off in the background. I think that's Stuart Gibbons.
Stuart.
In the wall. He's done the same thing as Tom Weston coming out of Woodcote. Yep.
Oh, a little earlier, actually. Yeah.
Well, we hit the same bit of the barrier, but just lost it a little bit earlier there. That was a little bit bizarre from Gibbo. So, unfortunately for Stuart Gibbons, he's now lost a place to Callum Mileham. Williams dropping about half a second back here from Werrell. So, Mark Werrell, of course, not mistaken for the man in second place in AMS, which is Jack Werrell. Mark is dad, Jack is son. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So Jack, the young lad, is doing a stellar job and has cleared, is further up the grid than his old man.
Well, there you go. So get your son in that racing rig there and get him that's some tracks and the car and iRacing, James, so that you can get the younger, quicker junior James out there.
He's not quicker. Well... Not yet, anyway. My eldest, who's 18, he races on a Monday. He's probably quicker. I'm not going to doubt that.
I have him racing as well.
Well, he does. He does Mondays, but he works on a Wednesday. So unfortunately, he can't do the GT4s, but he does the Clios on a Monday, bless him. So, yeah, stellar job from him. But Arthur Fertile, stellar job from Fertile. 32 minutes on the clock. And around they go once more through the chicane. Off-round club, the right-hander staying away from that curve as much as possible. And trying to keep it off that off-tracks, of course. And these guys are once more up underway down through Abbey. 31 minutes here. What about Williams and Werrell? Well, they're still going at it nose to tail here. They still can't separate each other. Williams looks like he's going to get a better exit in that BMW. Mark Werrell got a bit of a later one coming out. He's now on that run as well. Can Williams get past him? Fourth gear for Williams, up into fifth. Down into fourth, he's going to go, getting the car hooked up, off we go, full throttle now, all the way up, past Abbey, down through Farm and into the village, the right-hander here, and from Williams, whoa, big send from Kevin Randall, absolutely huge send from Randall there.
And Randall's still on his left-hand side there, so he's got to allow the space. I think he's still just there as he snuck in ahead there.
I think he is.
And absolutely correct, it is sim racing, because look at that, it's even written on the right-hand side of their car, BMW Motorsports Sim Racing. Ah, there you go, James.
Well, it's not, they can't put game racing in it, can they? Let's be real. Randall has just made a move over Williams. Round the outside of Brooklands, round Luffield they go. Williams trying to come back on the inside there. Randall giving him a good old run for his money. Open up the steering. And Randall cannot get past the outside on that one. What about Dudley and Werrell? Well, side by side at this moment in time. Now Werrell drops back in through the right-hander. Coming down the left now. Through Beckett's we go. And out on to Chapel. And then that long run from Chapel down the hanger straight once more for Jack Werrell. Can he get Dudley? Can he close up? Dudley's on the defensive here. He's parked it on the right-hand side. He's going to force Werrell to go around the outside if he can. Werrell's going to try it. He don't know if he's going to be able to hold it. He's there wishing that car would hold. He needs that inside line for the club chicane because otherwise he's just never going to clear. Ryan Dudley, he hasn't got that inside line there, Biggles. He needs to get the car alongside him.
He was trying his absolute best there, exactly. Did make it stick around the outside, but once again just scrubs too much speed. Good defensive driving there from Mr. Ryan Dudley to make it difficult for him to get the overtake. Then they're going to make their way down out of, where are they? Out of club, of course, down into Abbey.
Yeah, through Abbey they go, then coming down now into Village. The right-hander.
These are overtaking opportunities here if you can make it kind of stick a little bit, get the good exit down into Wellington Straight, and then line up for a possible overtake into Brooklands. But he might be a little bit too far back.
It's a tough one here. This is Dudley's drive of the season, says Jamie Dengle. I think it is currently at the moment. You can see Thurtle and Watson in the distance. They're running side by side near enough as they're off around the final corner of Luffield, coming out through Woodcote. That long looping right-hander they go. And then they're going to jink to the right through Woodcote and then once more down into Copse here. It's always tough, isn't it, with this at this circuit? You know what I mean? It's such a tough circuit to be able to manage.
Yeah, I love this. I love this section, of course. A high speed, isn't it? Out of Copse. Get on the power there, and then, well, yeah, one of the best series of, you can never replace this on a track, isn't it? Beckett's, Mackett's, and Chapel. They are braking a little bit through, so they're not absolutely flat. I'm kind of just used to Formula 1 cars, almost flat through there. They have to lift off a little bit, I think, at Beckett's. And unfortunately there, James, Callum Mileham has had an off-track excursion, and then he's had to go into the pits. So we didn't get a chance. I didn't even get a chance to commentate, curse him.
No, he did that all on his own, unfortunately. Williams has been off the side of the circuit as well. He's still a roundabout with Mark Werrell, so it must have just been a quick little jink off the side. Fertle's opened up that gap to 7/10. Dudley and Werrell were still going at it once more. Werrell's trying that outside line. He's just got to try and get the pace now for this inside of club. If he can hold this inside line, he might be all right. Can Werrell run him around the outside? Here he can He's going to try and run him all the way round the outside. He's going to take that off track as well. And Werrell does manage to get through. And these three AMs of Werrell, Dudley and Crowther battling it out with Chris Barnes trying to come up on the rear here as well. The main three championship protagonists, let's not forget. Once more, the 2-point gap, I believe it is, or 4-point gap between Jack Werrell and Derek Crowther, running Dudley a little bit further back, of course. So Dudley needs as many points as he can possibly get here with Werrell and Crowther currently at the moment. So yeah, great racing from these three AMs.
Yeah, that's exactly what Toxic Munchin out there had called. So Ryan's going to hold off, as you said, crucial in the championship for the AM there. See where he's just parking that car at the moment there. James Sports are trying to block off Jack Werrell, trying to block off Ryan Dudley. Of course, Derek's just a little bit behind them. Great racing. This is what you're going to see, I guess, for the rest of the season in James. They're separated by literally nothing. And even on a racetrack, you can't separate them.
Yeah, they're going to be nose to tail all the way down. Let's not forget. I think they're just going to be constantly at each other for the rest of this season. They're going to need to be Jack Werrell, Ryan Dudley and Derek Crowther are going to need to be going at each other here full bore for the rest of this season to see who can take this AM championship. Dudley's he's the furthest back at the moment. He's the one who needs the points currently. But if he stay ahead of Crowther, that's a little bit of a gain in its own right. So a stellar job from Dudley here, with Mark Werrell sitting down in 14th, still battling away. There he is with Rob Williams. Williams is behind him as we jink all the way over to Maggots and Beckett's. Through Beckett's we go now, the right-hander, and then off down through Chapel.
So Arthur Thurtle is gone into the pit road. I was just about to ask that, and he's answered that question. I'm wondering which of those cars are a little bit kinder on the gas, or have a little bit more gas in the tank than the other cars, because they are obviously a little bit different, and also depends on that fuel saving. But I doubt he was going to do any fuel saving at the moment, my friend, because he was on a massive attack for the first half of this race.
He just wants to basically go full as much as he can and try and get as much pace out of that Aston Martin as physically possible. If he can take out some of the fuel before he gets to within the end, I think he'll do an absolutely stellar job there. So Thurtle, he is coming out. He's going to come out Chris Needham.
That's the pace car. That gets me when I see that. Is he going to come out traffic? Maybe. He's got to be just clearing.
Just cleared Stuart Rice, yeah. So he come out in 12th. So he's come out in clean air, where Jack Werrell has got clean air, but Ryan Dudley has got dirty air. And these guys have been going at it for the first half of this race. And I'm not expecting this to stop until we get to the end. 24.5 minutes to go. Round Brooklands once more for that Aston Martin being chased down by that Mercedes, who's being chased down by that BMW with Crowther. But it is all about Dudley and Werrell at the moment here, Biggles, as they head down through Woodcote one more.
I'm just wondering who's going to jump first into the pit road between them two. Wonder if that's going to be work. If Ryan feels that he's been held up a little bit here, does he just jump in a pit road there and try the undercut?
Well,
it'd be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know. You got to think as his driver. If he feels that the pace is good for him and he can handle this at the moment, and liking in driving in that dirty air then of Jack Werrell, then perhaps it could be. But he can have the opportunity, of course. Well, they're so close. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Ryan is going to elect to follow Jack into the pit road if he has enough time to react, because look how close they are.
Werrell's now hugging the white line on the left-hand side of your circuit as you look at the picture. Dudley's trying to come around the outside. He's not alongside here at the moment. Slight little contact. Dudley was going to try to switch back, I think. Werrell managed to hold on. Dudley's going in. Dudley is into the pits.
Okay.
So is Adam Hedgecock as well. So Hedgecock's in. Dudley's in. Who else is going to be in? Barnes has gone in once more. And that's released Werrell now to open up that gap to Crowther. Williams looks like he's going to be looking at coming in. Nope, Haddington will be the first one to go in, so Williams will be able to concentrate on his battle with Mark Werrell, of course, as he's continually fighting it out with Mark in that Aston Martin, with Williams in the BMW. There's going to be a lot of flicking around at the moment here as people get the pits sorted out. So Dudley, Hedgecock, Barnes, Haddington are all in the pits here. So Hedgecock is out on the pit exit. And where is Mr. Hedgecock? There he is in that McLaren, and unfortunately comes out behind Rob Williams here, but who is still yet to pit. What about Chris Needham? Well, Needham's got Thurtle behind him here, Biggles, and I'm not expecting this to take long from Thurtle get passing Chris Needham.
Thurtle needs to at the moment, my friend, because he's got to respond to Adam Watson. Now, Adam Watson just put in the fastest lap before, so it's a hammer time there for Adam, realizing that he's going to be probably coming into pit road soon, as Arthur has, and we'll get an idea of Arthur's lap times soon once he completes this lap, because he came out of the pit road before, so his last lap is obviously a 2:40 with pit stops. I'm just curious to see what sort of time he's going to put in there, James, and because he has to respond to Adam Watson's time as well as Mark Fletcher. So he's got to be doing an early 2:10 somewhere around there, but maybe that traffic has cost him a little bit of time there.
Yeah, he's got to try and finish him off. He's got to try and go and use that air he has got and just keep pumping out their laps until Watson and Fletch go in to the pits. He's coming around turn 11, turn 12, through Beckett's we go. The right-hander, then off through Chapel. Thurtle knows what he's got to do. He's got to go. What about Werrell? Well, Werrell's got to go, because Crowther's chasing him down here. And these guys are going round once more. Crowther's now into the pits. That's released Jack Werrell. What about Williams? Well, Williams and Mark Werrell still going at it as they're coming round Stowe now. Williams looking up the inside. I've got a funny feeling they could be pitting this lap or one more.
And
no, it's going to be one more. I just hope they haven't both got blinkers on and unfortunately have not looked down at their pits and seeing if they actually need to go in, because clearly they're going a lot longer than some of these cars. Stuart Gibbons battling away down here with Damien Hirst. Of course, we saw Stuart, what he did coming out of Woodcote. We actually thought it was behind before that through Luffield, so he carried too much speed through Brooklands and then went into Luffield across the grass and then spun it on the exit of the grass once he'd hit the tarmac. So from Gibbo's point of view, not an ideal scenario, but Gibbons and Hurst are fighting it out down here for 19th and 20th. Gibbo's going to look up the inside of Damien Hirst in that Aston Martin. He does make it through. Good job from him. Toro Oromets and Alan McCain scrapping once more for 5th and 6th place. McCain up 11 here. So a great job from McCain as these guys were coming around.
I'm just looking at Arthur's lap times. So since he got a clean lap now after the second time around after pit stops, his last lap is a 10.7, and Adam's still doing a 10.10, and Mark Fletcher's a 10.3, and we know that they have to pit soon as well as Tim Perry. So he needs to get on with it, because Adam's going to jump him as soon as Adam gets in the pit stops. And Adam's got good pace at the moment, so Adam Watson leading. He can... if he's continuously doing these lap times and he's out pacing Arthur Thurtle, then he should be back into the net lead of this race once the rest of those pit stops are done and dusted there, James.
Watson, Fletcher and Perry, your 1, 2, 3. Oromets and McCain coming down into Stowe. Again, both of these guys have not pitted here. I think from Oromets, he's going to try and look at going in. He's not. McCain's not heading in either. So Alan McCain, so the first man that has pitted is 7th place man Thurtle. Round they go through the final corner, through Club now. Alan McCain's got to be having a look up the inside of Toro Ormet surely here, Biggles. He's got to try and get past him as soon as he can.
Absolutely. Easier said than done, but that's the other thing. So Stuart Rice goes in to take his pit stop, mandatory pit stop, 18 or so. So these guys can go pretty deep, as you said. Like, we still have a good chunk of about half the field yet to come in. And it's all about that timing, isn't it? I think you said too that, well, Arthur Thurtle is, the pit stop's like what seems to be letting him down. And at this point, it could very much be that similar situation. He might be essentially losing this race, but he eventually did put a good time in. So he's done a 2:10.14. So I guess because he's got the clean air, you can see him just in the background of your pictures. And that's now he's getting those banker laps he wanted to do in there. But the problem is he's a couple of laps down from doing it, whereas Adam Watson is still doing 10-12s, and Mark Fletcher's doing so. I think Mark Fletcher might even jump in, my friend, continuing at this pace at the moment for the lead of the race after the pit stops.
Yeah, Mark Werrell, Rob Williams still battling it out there. Williams just got a little bit close. He's going to have to try and lift that BMW off. He loses that position to Hedgecock, and unfortunately for him, he drops away from Werrell. One mistake, and that is the gap now. He's got at the moment about 1.3 to Werrell in front of him. Werrell's going to come through. Cops now. Williams behind him, Hedgecock in the middle, so that battle has kind of evaporated almost by one mistake from Williams coming through Luffield. He ran wide, he had to go slow down to try and get the car turned, and Hedgecock snuck up the inside of him and had that place away. Orametz and McCain still nose to tail as they go past Callum Mileham there, who apparently has been in the pit lane 6 times, but I can't see how that's working out.
I've only seen one. So there he is. Adam Ormetz. I like that slight little pink livery that's on there, isn't it? It's very kind of hard to read, because at first when I saw him in the pit road, I thought I have to check my trading paints is loading. Because it just looked like a completely white car, but there is that nice subtle
pink on the side.
pink livery. Yeah, who's also going in at the moment there? So that's Mark Werrell, yep, and Robert Williams is also in for the Triple P. Racing Porsche in the BMW, we mentioned. Oh, look, the sun's back out again. That's right. Your eyes are not deceiving you. There is a sun in the United Kingdom. James hasn't seen it for 40-something years.
Excuse me. I'd like to point out I'm nice and brown here, mate. I'm not going to lie. It's Haddington just goes up the inside of Stuart Rice there. So Haddington done a stellar job from him. Orametz is on his way out. What about Williams and Werrell? Are they going to get jumped by Barnes? I think they are. What about Mellis is going to do them as well? What about Haddington? Is he going to get past them? Currently at the moment is Jason Haddington, the man who has pitted. Williams is on his way out. Werrell still sat there, and Williams is on his way. Can he hold off Jason Haddington? He's just lost a position to Haddington. He's lost a position to Randall, and he's going to come out 8th in class here with Randall literally on full bore, right behind him on full pace once more. And Randall now has got to try and chase down Williams. They've opened up a bit of a gap. We are waiting for the top 5 to go in. Needham's also got to go in, and Mellis has got to go as well. Yeah, but they've got to be running out soon. I'm not going to lie. They've got to be trying to get into the pit lane, I think, very, very shortly.
They're going to have to. And the thing is, it's interesting. It's always coming down to the lap times that they're doing on their own. Like, again, if you're doing good lap times, Tim Perry's now finally going from P3. Yeah, I'm just trying to see whether or not who's going to really benefit from this. I think Adam will. I'm not quite sure if Mark Fletcher can jump him. And it all depends on your absolute pit stop too. If you spot the box perfectly, unfortunately, you don't see as a spectator the lollipop man that comes out, and you got to hit that perfectly, because that costs you a tenth or so if you did make a little bit of a mistake in the pit road. A few more coming in there now. So Adam McLean there, Chris Needham, Jack Worrell, and Tim Perry, we just said before, is going in. Yeah, waiting for Adam Watson, Mark Fletcher. That'll promote Arthur Thurtle to P3, of course. That's interesting, because you can see the gap is, 26 seconds or so behind Adam Watson. It's not going to be enough. Adam should, if you get a good pit stop in and out, will definitely be back in the lead of this race.
Well, that's the interesting thing when you look at our timing software as well, because if we sat back and had a look at pit lane times, pit lane time is 46 seconds. Thurtle's got a 26-second gap. So in hindsight, he should be 20 seconds in front of these guys. But it doesn't always work out
It's never
like
like that, is it? We were talking about that the other day, James. That's why it's very difficult for me to calculate. I mean, once again, the Formula 1 game, I can calculate that to the millisecond, but can never do it in iRacing.
No,
it's something is not calculating properly in that one, isn't it? The overall pit time. So we have to get a stopwatch out and measure it ourselves one day.
Yeah, and see whether or not it is. Normally, it's round about 30 seconds from one end to the other. So with that, in hindsight, Thurtle should get out in front of Watson. But that's not always the way of the world. It doesn't always kind of work like that either. So hopefully he's going to be near or by them when they come out to the pits, because don't forget, he went into the pits right behind them. Yeah, so Watson
They've both
and
gone in,
Fletch.
Fletcher as well. And look at where Arthur is on the track map. Now, Arthur's making his way down the Hanger Straight, which is quite some distance back.
But they've got to stop yet.
Yep, they do. Now, where are they too? On the pit boxes, it looks like it's going to be all the way down the end here. Practically the first box, it looks like, isn't it? Yes, it will be. Stop it. Bang. Throw it up on the jacks to take tyres?
No, they won't take tyres.
No, just the gasoline?
Just gas. They won't take tyres. Where's Vettel now? He's coming round the last corner. This is going to be close. They're going to be rolling out. They're rumbling out now. Mark Fletcher and Adam Watson. Where is Thurtle? He can see them there.
There it is.
He's close, but no cigar.
Yeah, I figured that cost him. It cost him, I think, more than anything, it cost Arthur. Coming out of that pit road, remember he had that traffic after his pit stop, and he had to get past, I can't remember which driver it was.
Chris Needham.
Yeah, that cost him. That cost him that little bit of time there, which is all it needs. And unfortunately, he's lost the two places, remember, because he was leading before he went into his pit stop.
Yeah, it's tough for Vettel. It always seems to be the pit stops that causes him problems. Gas, says Toxic Munchkin. Sure is petrol in the UK.
Yeah, call it petrol.
We do call it petrol. But he's not English, JB, is he? Let's be real. You know what I mean?
We call it petrol in Australia as well, too. I just call it gas because it just works better over here in the Americas, so they don't know what I'm talking about with petrol.
They'll look at you blankly, will you, if they say if you say to them, I need some petrol.
Even though it's not a gas.
This is also
it's a
true.
liquid. So, anyway.
No, it's
you
all
can't
down.
teach old dogs new tricks, my friend. And in the United States of America, I can say that because there's no US drivers on the grid at the moment. Yeah, they still have the old... well, you do have the Imperial system as well, too, but I don't like changes too much. Chris Barnes on the back there of Needham.
Yeah, just watching Fertel at the moment. He's closed the gap up nearly half a second from when these guys come out of the pits here. So Arthur Fertel once more chasing down Fletch, who's chasing down Watson. Fertel's driving another stellar race here once more. And now the question will be, can he close up enough over the last 10 minutes? So that's going to be his challenge, to get closer and closer. What about Barnes and Needham? They're going full bore as they go through Maggots and Beckett's and then out onto Chapel. The right-hander of Beckett's here. Through they go now on the exit. They've got to be looking at these two Porsches battling away. Barnesy is looking quicker than Needham here, I'm not going to lie. Here he goes. Chris Barnes is tucked up right behind him. There is two cars there, I promise. Is Barnesy going to be looking at pulling out, or is he just going to use Needham? It looks like he's possibly... Oh! Big hard break from Barnes there as he nearly ended up into the back of Needham. And unfortunately for Needham, that would have been game over. He would have been spinning round there. But Barnesy and Needham going full bore at it here, Biggles.
Yeah, at the Battle of the Chris's. What's interesting is, Chris Needham has been, 8 positions gained. It has been the overtaking superstar, you'd have to say. But at this point, he is in the pro class, and you got Chris Barnes there really putting some pressure on him for the AM class. So very, very good performance there from Chris Barnes, who is down 3 positions at the moment. And just to get back on that one, we're saying it was Ryan Dudley's drive of season, perhaps. Unfortunately, Ryan, that pit stop situation, has lost out to Derek Crowther. Crowther, sorry, yeah, and Jack has still gained that advantage there, so he'll be leading the AM class. So another one of those situations where the pit stop has not benefited the driver, or benefited one driver and not the other.
Yeah, what about Barnesy and Needham heading down into Brooklands? I've got a funny feeling Barnesy's just going to sit there. I want to jump back up front with Fletch and Fertel. Fertel's managed to get the gap down to below 2 tenths. Can he maintain it? That's going to be the question. Through now, out on to Chapel, down that hanger straight we go. Fletch is on the defensive here. He's trying to defend as much as he can. Fertel's coming, and Fletch knows he's coming. That's going to be the question for Fletch. Can he hold on to this car away from Fertel? Fertel's closing and closing and closing. Round Stowe we go. Down Vale. Fertel's gone up the inside. It's going to be a job done for him. Fertel does go through there, and Fletch gave that up a little bit easier than I was expecting him to.
Yeah, it was great driving. Arthur just puts it on himself, doesn't he, in those pit stops, because he has to make it done on track again, and that's a fantastic way of how you do perform and execute and overtake quite brilliantly here in Silverstone. But now he's got a bit of work to catch up to Adam Watson, my apologies, and he's already got past Adam Watson earlier at the start of the race. Now he's got to do it again. This time now he's got to gain about 1.7 seconds first to get it done. That's easier said than done. Not really, 7 minutes to go there, James. So
no, I wouldn't put it past Vettel now. I definitely would not.
He's definitely been, if not the quickest driver on track. It's just, as I said, those pit stops are the only thing that punishes him a little bit. Otherwise, he should really have realistically been back out in P1.
No, definitely there. Does struggle on his pit stops. Haddington fighting down here. You're going to see the BMW Williams. There it is with Rice. So the two triple Ps chasing down the air smart of Haddington. Can Williams in that BMW do it? Haddington's gone on a defensive. He's made that defensive move once already. Back out he goes now. He's trying to hold that car through Abbey, down through Farm here and into Village we go. Williams is going to have the inside line in that BMW. Does going to go up the inside. Here's Haddington going to try and come back up the inside of the loop. He is. Williams surely got to try and take that late apex, cut it back, get on the gas. Didn't manage to do that, unfortunately for him. And Haddington maintains and holds that position once more. So it is still Haddington, Williams here. And Barnsley's managed to clear Needham. So Chris Barnes has got past at Needham with 5.5 minutes remaining. Can he now catch up to Toro Oromets? It's about 3.4 seconds. It's a big ask from him. Needham's not going to let him get away with it though. Barnsley's they're going to have to defend through Cops. They go on into the Magus Beckett's complex. Round the first left-hander, and it's now Needham and Barnes still battling it out. Left, right. And then they're going to be on the brakes. There you go. There's the lights. Go left again. Now the right of Beckett's on that exit here through Chapel. And Needham is trying here, Biggles, but he just can't get quite close enough.
No, he can't. And not on the Fosters, unfortunately, my friends. No. Way too early for to be drinking. Don't drink and cast anyway. I'm fumbling with my words. Just I didn't do any warm-up exercises. And if I don't do my warm-up exercises, I fumble a little bit. Interesting as well, too, James, is that it's crucial there for Jason Haddington to make sure it keeps the Triple P racing machines, because I think if Robert does get past him, then he can maybe allow a backup so Stuart Rice could possibly apply that attack as well. So yeah, that's another one. But then again, I'm thinking to maybe strategy of the teams, and they might not be, as you can see, that Chris is now starting to pull a little bit of a gap away. So that might not be the problem there. You can spot the pumpkin-coloured orange machine that Jason Haddington's piloting for the Air Smart Racing team, and he's got his teammate up the road there, Chris Needham, who just got overtaken before by the other Triple P teammate of Chris Barnes. So Triple P machines, my friend, well, as they are currently running in 11th, 13th, and 14th. Adam Watson still leading this one. You can see Arthur Turtle has got that one. Turtle got it down to just about 1.3, almost to a second. So he's applying the pressure. He's getting on with it. It was 2 tenths to 3 tenths quicker than Adam Watson on the last lap. Time is not on his side.
Yeah, he's trying to close that gap down for 1.5. They've dropped Fletch. Fletch is there now with Perry behind him, but Thurtle is trying to chase down Watson. So there we go. Can he now close him down with 3.5 minutes? They're going to have one more lap here before Barney is out waving. Stuart Gibbons is into the pits. Unfortunately for him, he's into the pits. Williams and Rice still battling it out with Oromets and Barnes in front of them. So the Triple P boys are involved in battles, and Barnes is trying to hold back Needham at the moment. Rice is trying to clear Williams all at the same time. So Williams trying to hold on from his teammate. He needs to for the championship if they are going to be in the championship. Currently, Rice is ahead of Williams in that championship, so hopefully they'll be able to get red, and maybe Williams might be able to open up that gap. But what about Oromets and Barnes now? Oromets has been caught by Barnes, and Barnes is absolutely flying in that Porsche at this moment in time, Biggles.
Ormond had gone off track, I believe, somewhere, James. That's the reason why they caught up to him quite quickly. Just seeing some sort of message there. So there's an off-track moment there. Cost him maybe about a second or so. Might not have been a massive one, but he's got to hold on right now. So he's holding on to that P10 position as he's got both of those super quick Chris's behind him. And you don't want to be losing 2 places to both the Chris's. At this point, he is in big trouble there, James.
Yeah, Oromets with Barnes and Needham closing him down. Rice still can't get past Williams. So Oromets is going to have to try and hang on here. Barnes is clearly quicker than Oromets. Oromets in that BMW. Barnes in that Triple P Porsche. He is going to go up the inside. And through goes Barnsley, through stellar job into Brooklands, out into Luffield. Needham's trying to have a go as well. He nearly lost his nose there, Biggles. That could have been dangerous.
Yeah, he's going to be down. I think he's going to be, as I said, he was going to be in big trouble at the moment because now he's got the other Chris who really takes the inside line up against the fence, trying to use his maximum amount of track as you possibly can around our favorite cops. Get on the power. And if he gets, I think at the moment, Chris Needham gets a good exit out of Chapel, he might be able to take him in the stow.
Yeah, Adam Watson.
Big ask.
Yeah, it definitely is. Watson's coming around to start the final lap of the race. Barney is not waving. He's decided to take the night off. So thanks, Barney. Well, yeah, you know, he's probably enjoying the sun. He's probably got a deck chair set up there. But battle is closing on Watson, but 1.3 seconds. So this should be Watson's victory in hindsight. What about Needham? Needham's still trying to clear Oromets here, and he just hasn't managed to get past him currently at the moment. And as you can see there, that's not going to help, as Needham blinks a little bit. So
I didn't see that, did he? Oh.
Well, on my screen he went and come back on track. So
British internet. Yeah.
Don't blame my internet. Clearly I haven't gone out and
I said British internet. It's all the internet in the UK.
I haven't gone out and fed the guinea pig this morning. Clearly it's not running fast enough. So there we go. But it's unfortunately I still
even North Korea has better internet than the UK.
Mate, I'm still apparently not available to get fibre optic, which drives me absolutely crazy.
I know. Come on.
I know.
You're supposed to be a superpower, but you can't even get fibre. That's crazy. That's one thing about the States. You can't complain with how very good internet it's available and cheap. Yeah, Stewart, but yeah, he's got
He's gonna have to hang. Williams is hanging on here, so I don't think Rice is going to have enough to get past him. The leaders are coming out of Beckett's and onto Chapel, so keeping an eye on them. They're on their way down into Stowe. The gap's just nearly under a second, and I'll say nearly because it is nearly, but I don't think Turtle's going to have enough here unless Watson makes a big old mistake going down into club. It's going to be Adam Watson's race as he's going to be coming through the chicane.
Did shave quite a bit, didn't he? But as I said, day late, dollar short, not enough time.
Yeah, exactly. And Watson's going to come over the line. He's going to take that victory here this evening. Adam Watson with Arthur Fertile right behind him, and Mark Fletcher in third with Tim Perry almost closing him down there. Adam Hedgecock, who's been driving around on his own pretty much most of the evening, unfortunately, bless him, has now coming across the line in fifth place for the pros. So there goes Adam Hedgecock, and here comes Jack Werrell. So a stellar job from Jack as he comes over the line in front of Derek Crowther, who is in front of Ryan Dudley. Dudley is just coming round. There he is there. Good job from Ryan Dudley, third overall, with Alan McCain up 8 places behind him. Chris Barnes, Toro Oromets, Chris Needham, take a bow. That was some epic racing we had earlier on. And Jason Haddington here with Rob Williams and Stuart Rice. So these guys been going at it as well. Williams will end up, bar any incidents, of course. Come on, sir. Last couple of corners. There we go. Williams should be managing to hold on from Stuart Rice, which he does do. So a stellar job from all of these drivers. And the last on the track is Damien Hirst. And he's coming out.
Callum's still out there.
Yeah, Callum's nearly finished though.
There he is. Hey, Callum.
There you go. It's
Yeah, I think he's glad that he gets a bit of a spin in there.
Callum's already done, isn't he? So a stellar job there from him.
I like those rims, isn't it, for the Bonsai racing machine there from Stefan?
Yeah, and here comes Damien Hirst, the final man on track, who will be finishing off here this evening. So a stellar job from Damien as he comes over the line. Through he goes, and 19th place for Damien Hirst. Good job there for him once more. But here we go, guys. Here are the results from the feature race here for the GT4s, and it is Adam Watson out in front with Arthur Ferdle in second, Mark Fletcher third, Tim Perry fourth, Adam Hedgecock fifth. Then you've got Jack Werrell won the AMS, Derek Craver, Ryan Dudley, Alan McCain in ninth, Chris Barnes 10th, Torno Oromets in 11th, Chris Needham 12th, Jason Haddington, Rob Williams, Stuart Rice, Mark Werrell and Stefan Mellis. Then on from that one we've got Kevin Randall, Damien Hirst, Callum Mileham, Stuart Gibbons, Tom Weston, and they're obviously at the end of that one. So a great job from him, from all of these guys once more, and we can have a catch up with some of these drivers here, and we will have a chat to them. Oh, come on, computer, what are you doing? No, okie dokie. Bear with. Right. So let's have a chat with your winner, Mr. Jack Werrell here, who's done great job overall for the Championship. Second in race one. Second in race one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and first in race two. So there we go. Welcome in, Jack. How are you?
Worse for wear. it was hard work tonight. Really hard work, because it was that weird bit where I was almost keeping touch with Hedgecock, but he had just enough, which I was sort of quite thankful for, because it meant that I wouldn't get caught up in his draft. And as soon as you get in the draft, you find yourself lifting off and almost losing time. So thankfully we didn't get caught in that trap. And sprint race was really just a fairly busy job, and I was focusing on keeping up with that sort of lead 8 cars, something like that. Just trying to keep in touch with them and let the pack behind battle, which thankfully is what happened. And then, yeah, race 2, I said it would be won and lost in the pit stop, and thankfully that's how it was, because it was me, Dudley and Deck, absolutely nose to tail, lapping within thousandths of each other all race long. And Dudley pitted earlier, I think a slow in lap and a slow out lap. Deck was, I think, 2 seconds quicker on his in lap and a second quicker on his out lap than Dudley. And I thought, right, I've got to book my ideas up here. I matched Deck on the in lap and I was a second quicker on the out lap. That's the only thing that did it today. It was just the pit stops.
Yeah, because you and Dudley before the pit stops were going at it quite well, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. I can't communicate it well enough in a car, because normally if you're in a real car, obviously you'd sort of point your finger, or if you're in a go-kart, you'd tap the back of your helmet or something as if to go work together. Come on, let's catch the cars in front or pull away from the cars behind. And I was trying my own version of that, a flash of the lights and jump out of the draft as if to go, look, I'm not here fighting you. I'm on the racing line. I want you to come over this way, so we can work together. And it didn't quite communicate as well as I'd wanted it to. But all round, good fun. Top 3 in the championship. Have scored top 3 points all night. So it's swung my way, but not by a whole lot. It's going to go down to the final round for sure. Not only the final round, but the final race of the final round as well. So yeah, me and Deck, tooth and nail as always. But we've got to watch our backs because Dudley is there.
Yeah, Dudley is definitely coming here, Jack, and he's not going to let up. Excuse me, either. As we go into Zolder, what's the kind of thing for Zolder, Jack? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Obviously the pre-season test went well when we were there, and I was somewhat of a fan. I did quite like it. I don't know whether anything's changed, but that was me running around in sort of on my own terms in clean air. I don't know what it's like to battle around. I don't know what it's like to follow another car around. So if I'm on my own, I like it. if I'm fighting away, which we know, let's be honest, that is what's going to be happening. I have no opinion on it because I've not done it in a while. So yeah, it's a case of wait and see. I think that'll only be decided in the practice session running up to qualifying on the night. But yeah, we look forward to it. We've got the momentum behind us now, and yeah, we'll see where it leaves us.
Okay, mate. Well, great job from you. Congratulations on your amazing win in the feature and your second place in the sprint. Anyone you want to shout out, Jack, before we let you go?
Yeah, of course, Danny Cassar again jumping in chat and keeping me updated with everything that was going on. I promise I will make it up to him next Monday because I heard he wasn't too fond of me missing out last Monday.
No, he did mention it, Jack, that you didn't turn up.
I heard. Father Werrell again, keeping it clean and consistent throughout the race. And of course, El, who's again probably shouldn't be watching, but is watching at work.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you so much, Jack, and look forward to catching up with you maybe next week.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
All right, let's have a chat with Adam Watson here, your winner of race 1, your winner of race 2. Adam, welcome in, sir. How are you?
I'm happy. How are you?
I'm happy. So, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How was your evening of racing anyway? It was good, right?
Yeah, it was really good racing between everyone and clean, and it was good.
Going forward, Adam, you know, we're going on to Zolder next week. How are you with Zolder? Do you like it?
In a GT3, no. In a GT4, never tried it. Other than that, I have no idea.
Okay, that's fair enough. What about into Jerez? Jerez in a GT4, done any laps on there, Adam?
I haven't done any laps. I just still need to buy that.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, buy Jerez because you're going to need to. But well done, Adam, on your double victory here tonight there, sir. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Obviously, you lot for the stream, Mark and Arthur for a really good race because it was a really good race between us all, and I think we've now proven that there is no team orders or anything between me and Mark now, with contacts and everything in race 1. So yeah, it was a really good race between everyone, and just thank you for putting on such a great league.
No worries, mate. We'll hopefully catch up with you as the season goes on there as well. So take care. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, let's have a chat with Mr. Adam Hedgecock here as well. Adam, welcome in. You drove around on your own for 45 minutes there, so it was a little bit lonely in race 2?
It wasn't too bad. Like, Jack was keeping me on my toes. I felt like I had to get past both Jack and Ryan, because I think over the course of a race I probably had the pace on them, but lap to lap it was tough. Those two were certainly quick, and Deck in the second race, yeah, he was right up there as well. So getting past them was important, and then yeah, after that it was a bit of a lonely race because the front not buggered off again.
They kind of ran off and left you, sir, didn't they? Didn't have no response.
They have a habit of doing that. Like they know that I'm a little bit slower than them, but they never wait up. They just drive off.
Did you put out a message to ask them to wait though?
Well, I thought about it, but then I thought about the consequences of me doing that. Seeing as Mr. Fletcher streams, if I was to say, "Oh, slow up a little bit so Tim can come back to me," I don't think that would have gone down too well in the Discord.
No, I probably agree with you on that one, mate. We're going on to Zolder next week, Mr. Hedgecock. Do you like it or do you not like it?
Zolder is fun if you can avoid the curbs. But to be quick at Zolder, you need to yeet the curbs.
And how is your yeeting?
I mean, I carry a lot of weight, so the yeeting bit is fun, but the landing is not so.
Yes, I can imagine on that one it would definitely hurt. But Adam, thank you so much for joining us. Anyone you want to shout out? Are you going to remember them all this week?
I am, but first I want to give a shout out to Callum Mileham, who took his maiden win in the lowercase amateur class tonight. 1 race, 1 win. Fair play to Callum for that. He expects a bottle of bubbly, by the way.
Was there a lowercase am category that I wasn't aware of?
Oh, there certainly was. He'll tell you all about it when he comes in.
Oh, lovely.
But other than that, yeah, Altitude Boys, our sponsors, Freem, Sim Stickers, Finding Speed, Mr. Hedge Racing Photography, Grumpy Dad, Gamer Designs, one of those. And then you guys for putting it on. I forget because he goes by Grumpy Dad Designs, but he streams on Grumpy Dad Gamer, I believe. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
There we go.
Well, good job from you, sir, and I look forward to catching up with you soon, no doubt.
Cheers, buddy.
Take care, mate. Right, now we're going to have a chat with Arthur Ferdle. 2 second places here as well. So, Arthur, stellar job from you. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thanks. Especially after that race.
Tough,
How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not bad, mate. Thank you very much. Tough race, wasn't it?
Oh, it was well tough. After the end of race 1, I was thinking, I don't know if I can take 45 minutes of this.
But you did manage it.
I did manage it, yeah. I manned up and got myself in there.
Do you feel, a quick question actually, when you come out the pitch, you were behind Chris Needham. Do you feel that kind of held you up and stopped you getting to them front 2 when they come out?
I think in total, that cost me half a second because he didn't put up much of a fight and would have in fact given me a bit of a tow towards the end of the first lap. I was behind him, so no, it didn't cost me that much.
Okay,
I was hoping I was behind him thinking, I really hope he's going to pit because he's not racing anyone. It would make total sense for him to pit and not race with me. But yeah, he stayed out. But yeah, it didn't cost me much.
Awesome stuff there, mate. Going forward, Zolder next week. What's the feeling?
Zolder is a track I've always wanted to race at, but I've never had the chance. So we'll see. It's got 2 very tight chicanes. The first one I know has got a couple of little big curbs on it. So we'll see. There's going to be a blue Aston getting sent over them curbs at some point, I'm sure.
Okay, mate. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Arthur, and we'll catch up with you soon, no doubt. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
I'd like to give a shout out to Callum Mileham for winning his class. That's a great achievement for him, something that he probably wasn't expecting tonight. But, he's improving as a driver. He won his class, didn't he? He was in the lower amateur class.
I'm going to talk to him in a minute because what is this lower amateur class all about? I will talk to Callum Mileham on that one. But anyone else you would like to shout out before we let you go?
No, just Callum for doing an awesome job winning his class.
Okay, mate. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Pearl. I have no idea what you're all about. I'm going to find that out very shortly. But Arthur, thank you so much, buddy. And we'll look forward to chatting to you soon.
Yep. Make sure I'm out of the chat before Callum comes in because, as you know, we've never been sitting in the same place.
All right, mate. See you later.
See ya.
Right, and now we're going to have a chat with Callum Mileham, who apparently won the lower AM class. Callum, by all accounts.
All right, I've had to run away from the paddock because we've all been celebrating that race win. I never thought I'd actually go out and on my first race I'd get a win. So that's quality. The champagne was going everywhere in the paddock, so that was fantastic. But yeah, I won the lower AMs. I can't believe it. Because if you look at the standings, they're all capital A's. I'm a lower A. I'm a separate class. So I'm in the lower amateur. So I've just won my class. I'm in the lead on the championship with only 2 races to go. It's fantastic.
I am so confused. Hold on a minute here. What are we talking about? Oh my God.
See, I'm in my own class and I've just won it, James. So I'm really looking forward to getting that trophy at the end of the season. And the paddock have gone wild. Honestly, I've already thanked my family. They're all looking forward to it as well. So don't let me down on the trophy. Honestly, it was a fantastic race. I can't believe I dominated that so much, though.
Yeah, it must have been hard with being the only one in the class, though.
It was really hard defending them ghosts behind me because honestly, the spirit level tyres are ridiculous. They keep traction for all the corners, but I dominated the pace all throughout, and I released my inner half a turtle. I flew around there. I obviously let all the higher class cars by, but I maintained my lead and dominated tonight. So bring on the next 2 rounds, I say, because thanks to Biggles, I'm now in the lead of my championship because he's covering me. So fantastic stuff.
I expect nothing less.
Yeah, the wind's coming home. It's coming Britain. It's coming Britain.
All right, mate. Well, congratulations, Callum. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, me, myself and I, all my fans out there, the paddock for celebrating. I'm going to go back to Champagne in a minute because it's crazy in there. Daniel Ricciardo's in there as well because I used his livery tonight. But Triple P as well. So, and the guys that gave me a shout out in their interviews as well. I appreciate that.
All right, mate.
Just don't break your trophy.
Yeah.
Should be good to go.
apparently
Oh
so.
no, I won't. When James sends that to me, that's going straight in the cabinet because that'll be my only one. I can't wait. I'm shaking with excitement.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, enjoy yourself, and I'll catch up with you soon, bud.
Yeah, appreciate it, boys. Look forward to seeing.
Oh, sorry, Callum. Sorry, mate. I cut you off. I cut him off before his victory speech, so I do apologise there as well. But Biggles, that was a great night of racing.
Absolutely. It's good to see, yeah. I mean, Silverstone, even with a track that's very difficult to overtake, you saw some fantastic overtakes and great performances from the drivers and stuff like that. So, yes, Arthur's out there in the chat too, my friend. Yep, great driving from him. But as you had to say, it's just the pit stops that was won and lost in that situation today. And that was timed perfectly from Adam Watson. That's the reason why the man took the top step of the podium. So, good to be here, James. And I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, well done. I'm on board with making that official. Jay, stop putting wood on the fire, young sir, as well. Please, don't be doing that because he doesn't need any encouragement, does Callum Mileham, for that one. Right, guys, that is going to bring us to the end of this evening's broadcast. Thank you so much to everybody for chat. Phil, Toxic Munchkin, of course, Jamie Dengle, John Brown, Mark Chappell for jumping in earlier on, Jake Corley, Arthur Ferdinand for popping in at the end, who's just had a great evening of racing. But for now, guys, we've still got great racing coming up a little bit later on. Of course, we've got the LSRL W12s are kicking it off tonight from Imola in Italy. We've also got the Beer League with Biggles and Nathan Richards for Okayama Short, so that's going to be an interesting one. But from myself and Dean Biggles up here in the booth, guys, you all take care. Have a great week, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.